What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Tisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Wife admits her husband isn't the man of her dreams. Again, wife admits her husband is not the man of her dreams. Now, guys, I'm begging you, please don't come empty-handed today. Pour yourself a hot cup. You're going to need it. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
At the beginning of this, we said we was going to get a whole truth and nothing but the truth.
That's how we like it.
Get this mic to one of these people that said they married. Whoever want the mic. Is your husband the man that you settled for, or is he the man of your dreams?
Settled.
I already know.
Damn.
I love you.
So this woman just said that she settled for her husband. We're going to get into this. Settled for her husband. Just keep listening.
I love you.
Hold up. Right, and so what happens is, like, the dude that she want, you know, the one that give her the spinner on his tongue and all of that.
Spinner on his tongue. Okay.
Yeah, like the one that's like, she'll let like drive her car. He ain't got no license. Like, he not on the insurance. Like the one that we're the Section 8 up for. Like, you know, like the one like where like you kind of like forget to come home, feed your kids. Like that got you like.
All right. So we've got one more video here. Then we're going to get into this topic. Of course, I'm curious to know, just right off the bat, what are your thoughts about what she said right there? What are your thoughts about what she said? Let's check out the second part here. Shout out to I Am Truth Hurts on TikTok. That is I Am Truth Hurts on TikTok. Let's keep listening.
So like with spinning a block, like especially for women, right? Women, I'm a firm believer that women got men that they make rules for and they got men that they break rules for, right? Like, I'm a firm believer in it. Like, I talk about that often. Like, and I try to teach a lot of these dudes that, like, if you feel like she got you jumping through all of these hoops, doing all this abnormal shit just to be in her presence, she makes rules for you. But the guy that they break rules for, like, she don't care if it's why she walking the dog. She don't care if she got to go under her desk at the job, get that call in, or get that text off. The one dude got to take her to Paris, the one take her to Pizza Hut, the one that, and it's the best slice that she ever had because the real good, right? Like, so like my thing is like with the worth thing and the morals and all of that, people are real choosy with their morals.
All right. So there you guys go. Let's get into this video real quick. I thought this one was pretty interesting and also shocking that a married woman would get on a platform and publicly admit that she settled for her husband. This is the woman who that man got on one knee for and asked to be his wife. This is who got on there and embarrassed him like this in public. All right, so follow me here for a little bit, guys, because I'm about to touch on a few topics. For most women, the men of their dreams is the man they did and still don't qualify for. Drink the coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Again, for most women, when you ask them to describe the man of their dreams, it is usually the type of man who they do not, and in this case with this wife, more likely than not, did not, and still doesn't qualify for. Now, some of you guys may disagree, right? There may be a chick right now who's saying, no, he wanted me. I know he did, for whatever reason. And my question is, if that man who she would give the title to her dream man, the guy who's spinning her around by his tongue, right? Because most times this is usually also largely titled to like primal sexual attraction. But if that man who may be in her imagination or maybe somebody who she's dated in the past, if that man got on one knee and proposed to her, the woman in the video who said, my husband is not my dream man, I settled. Well, who is? This guy right here, Tyrone. If he got on one knee and proposed to her, do you really think that she would have said no? That's my question to you, to the women that say, I settled for my husband. Well, you settled for him, what, in light of what other better options? Joseph, guys, listen, if you've been paying close attention, you know exactly what's going on right now. You know they, especially right now, and what you've seen is going on right now, do not like the coffee. But we prepared. We prepared for exactly this. Did you guys know that we're on Facebook? Not only Facebook, but also on Rumble, Twitter, TikTok, all other platforms. But listen, what I would like for you to do first, if you already haven't, is give us a follow on Facebook. I don't know how long they'll be okay with us serving coffee. They don't like the truth. But of course, we're prepared and we can't do it without your help. So hit the link pinned to the top of the comment section. There's more coming in the future. Appreciate you. As always, let's get back into this video. So did he propose? Did he fill out that husband application for you? Or is this a guy who was busting the cheeks, you were dating him, and of course the sexual attraction was great, maybe right off the bat, and that would like cover the no rules for that guy, right? He doesn't need to take her to 3 dates, 5-star restaurant. No, she saw him. They went to Taco Bell, and by the end of the night, he was in those cheeks. Why didn't you marry him? That's the question. Because the answer is more often than not, because he did not want to marry you. That man was not an option for marriage for real. So then the question is, did she settle? Or did she become more realistic about the type of man who she should take seriously for marriage? Now, I'll even go a step further and say for a lot of married women that think like this, they are lucky they found a man that would have them. But they just can't admit it. Why can't they admit it? Well, because what we're looking at here is a woman who never realized this whole thing that we're talking about right now. She never realized that her options that she had for dating weren't the real options that she actually had for a marriage. Those are two different things. And you hear women confuse this all the time. They'll say things like, well, how am I never going to get married when I have men who DM me consistently every day? You have women who are single moms and they think that they are the prize when they should be more humble. Not saying that you don't deserve a man as a single mom. I don't say that. But you should be more realistic and appreciate a man who's willing to help you raise up another man's children. Now, this also goes for the women who interact with men in high value circles. You guys know I don't usually use that term very often, but they'll bump into these guys and say, I think I deserve a high earning man or a millionaire or a man who's earning multiple figures. And you ask them why? Well, because I've dated some before. Yeah, but have they ever taken you seriously for marriage? And it's usually crickets after you ask them that question. It's no. So did you settle or were you realistic? And should you be grateful that you didn't wait till the clock was too late like the majority of the chicks out here? Gentlemen, if you are a man who values marriage or the potential of a long-term relationship, then you have to make sure you avoid settling down with the type of woman who doesn't realize that there's a difference between your dating options in this generation where a woman is encouraged to be sexual and go out and try different men before settling down. You have to avoid the woman who doesn't realize there's a difference between those options and the very realistic options that you have for a man who's actually going to marry you. Again, the unfortunate product of us living in a very sexual society where women are encouraged to sleep around, not only encouraged, they're actually applauded for it, is that most women will have other sexual experiences before you. And the bitter reality is that there's a high chance that you won't be her best sexual partner. And that's because sexual compatibility isn't the only factor that keeps a relationship or marriage strong. It's not. It's not. And I know this is a bitter cup of coffee for a lot of men to take in. A good woman will lie to you about this, and a smart man will stay away from asking those type of questions. But if you flip it, it may be easier for you to understand. If most men are going to be honest, you can probably look back at your life and think there are women from the past who the only amazing thing that they brought to the table was what was between their legs. But even with knowing that, there is no way in hell you consider spending more than 24 hours with that chick again, or let alone entertaining her for a relationship because she was a headache or toxic. Women today is a product of our very openly sexual society have the same experiences as well. Now, notice I described two types of women, right? That first woman actually thinks that that man who she had an amazing experience with, especially usually emphasized in like sexual connection, was the real potential for a husband. And the second woman realizes that that man, or maybe multiple, I know it hurts.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
If she did have that same experience, realize that he only brought one thing to the table or two things, but in reality, she would never look at that man as a man who qualifies as a husband to raise up a family, because number one, she's like, yo, this man wasn't checking me. I was part of his rotation. He was playing me. Or two, even if I did end up marrying him, he does not have what it takes to sustain a long-term, healthy relationship. And so she doesn't look at that man like he's her ideal man. She looks at him for what he really is. Now, there is something else women do in these types of situations is they'll have children with these types of men and then find a man who they see as more responsible to raise up his kids. Yeah, that's that dualistic mating strategy. But we're not going to get into that. We're going to talk about the goal. What's the goal? The goal is to make sure that you do not settle down with the woman in this video. You make sure that if you do settle down with the woman, it's a type that's realized that she's not settling for you. She's realistic and not delusional. A lot of this stuff stems from some serious delusion, because again, do you really think that if that man got on one knee, the man of her dreams, multi-millionaire, great listener, great father, if he proposed and got on one knee, you think she's turning that down? No, she's not. And there are too many married women out here who don't realize that their husband is the best they could do. They treat those men like they settled. You've probably seen it many times in your life. Those relationships are usually defined by an unfair exchange of value. These men usually live their lives and marriages by the motto, happy wife, happy life. They're trying to stay out of trouble as much as they can. Because she might leave and go back to her dream man. They're constantly in a scarcity mindset, trying to figure out what else they can do to keep a post-wall woman happy. These are also the men whose wives cheat, not the ones who they both cheat and they're trying to work it through and come together. Or sometimes you guys have seen it, the woman who cheat and they'll work it out in private. No one else knows, regardless of your opinions on cheating. I'm talking about cheating because these are also the ones that the woman who cheat and everyone will know. Everyone will know that she cheated on him. And there he is standing next to her and she wants to leave, but he's there fighting, trying to keep her while he's being publicly humiliated, begging and hoping things work out. Let's get some of these comments and see what other people have to say about this video. First comment here says, dang, I hope he doesn't ever see this video because he will know he was settled for. Dang. Just the fact that she can get online and make this statement publicly is a red flag. Here's somebody else who says, that hurts out loud with a sad eye emoji. Wow. Somebody else here, chick says, sis, speaking a lot of our truths. Again, our truths. There are a lot of chicks who think this way. They truly believe this. And I am not, by the way, I am not saying that women don't make rules for certain men. This is true. The more markers you check in the categories of things that women find attractive, the less vetting they will do for you, and you have easy access. This next comment says he is right, but it changes. All he got to do is show some BS and he get the rules too. Yes, he'll get the rules, but for women who aren't married and hopefully aren't cheating with that other guy, even though she's saying she'll make the rules if he's disrespectful, she's usually going back and forth with that type of a dude. They're usually going back and forth. We've got another woman here saying, yeah, we will have one jumping through the hoops to get just a little bit, but there's another guy that doesn't have to do anything but exist. So here she says she'll have one going through hoops. This should just be very clear to you, especially if you're dating, that if a woman has you going through all types of hoops, then you don't want to enter that relationship because she does not have enough initial attraction to you for her to truly respect you once you enter a relationship with her. These things look like her rescheduling dates a bunch of times before you actually meet her, her demanding that you take her to 5-star restaurants and not being okay with a coffee shop date, right? The guys who they let break the rules are the guys who they initially are more attracted to. And for men, this comes down to how much are you working on yourself as far as self-improvement so that you have to jump through less hoops. Either you're going to jump through hoops at the gym or hoops at your job so you can climb the ladder, or you're going to jump hoops with these women. You get to choose. And for somebody who says, well, I just don't want to date. Cool. You can do that too. Right. Somebody else here says, hopefully her husband sees this video. Somebody else here added, why would she say this out loud? Here's another comment that says, some of them think they're settling when they married their only option. Yeah. Maybe not only option, but their realistic option and maybe their best option. Somebody else here says, I bet he is a provider. Yep. This is a good comment because typically a woman who gets with a man simply based on him providing is usually the type of man who's viewed as a beta male provider, meaning it's mostly transactional. She's not sleeping with you underneath the bridge. That's the guy who she's divorcing as soon as she realizes that he can't bring to the table what she ultimately values. And you might say, well, Chisha, then why are you saying you should improve? Because it matters that you're financially stable and it makes you more attractive, but that shouldn't be the reason a woman's with you. It's a combination of things. And this outweighing the other attributes, your leadership, your competence, who you are as a man, your relationship with that woman. All those things should be taken into serious consideration as well. And you can feel those things, like I said, when it's tipped towards you're just the provider versus she really likes what you bring in multiple areas of your life. Somebody else here says, it's an evil world we live in. Very true. Here's another comment that says, I would literally lose my mind if my wife said something like this. With the crying emoji here, somebody else who says, the sad part is she don't realize he settled for her too. That could be true. The difference between a man who's just there for provision, getting a better partner is simply just how he views himself. Is his confidence, how he carries himself. It all comes down to your confidence. There are men out here who they're drinking coffee and they're in a relationship where they realize like, wow, I'm somebody who is valued. I've been looking at this whole thing all wrong. Somebody else here says, that's crazy. If my wife said that about me, I would say, okay, cool. Now let's settle for a divorce. Listen, of course, I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you as always for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.